Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. It's Friday, and I'm coming at you live with your Friday flashback poem readings. The poem that I'm going to be reading today is from page 24, and it's called I Had Died. Now, for those of you who are just catching on to this, I am reading from my award winning poem book, Listiner Inspired, A Journey into Awesomeness. If you don't have it, please go and get it. It's on Amazon.com. If you have Amazon Prime, you get it within 2 days. It's also on my website at listiner and it's an amazing book, if I should say so myself. But no, it's a book that goes in detail through a poetic story of my life, from abuse to addressing it, to self-awareness, to healing, to being able to just retake my life back. And so what I do on Fridays is I give you an insight of each poem that I wrote, the meaning behind it, and some self-reflecting things for others who might have experienced those same things that want to learn how to heal from certain things. So here we go. I had died. I had died a long time ago, laying on that cold mattress when hand after 50 hand stripped away my youthfulness. I never got to know. Or maybe the death of me came with the birth of Listiner, for her soul sought shelter in a lifeless body being born. I often wonder why and how one carries a life within for 9 months, feeling that connection to only disconnect at the time which matters the most, the entry into this cold, hard world. Yeah, I wasn't ready. So that poem touches on a few different things. It touches on sexual assault, it touches on rejection, it touches on fear, and it touches on a sense of hopelessness. And so when I started off the poem, it goes into how I felt being 13 years old, experiencing gang rape, laying there, knowing that this wasn't okay, but didn't know what to do about it. And so many thoughts are going through my head at that time. And also from that, and if you caught my live interview with Miss Tennille Jackson on Tuesday, she actually addressed that, or she touched that, she interviewed me about that. That's what provoked me or sparked me to do that poem reading today, because it's something that I haven't openly talked about. It's in my book, but I haven't talked about it in depth. And so, like I had said on Tuesday, that it was something, not only did the actual act hurt, but it was going to my mother and telling her that it happened, and she telling me it was my fault, that hurt even more. And so in that, even though this poem is short, there's so many powerful things you can take away from it, meaning that sometimes when we're born into a home where we feel rejected, unloved, we carry those things within us throughout our lifetime, how we treat people, how we interact. And so I spent a lifetime not trusting people, always on my guards up, expecting the worst out of everyone and everything, and never allowing myself to truly enjoy life carefree, because I lost my childhood at such a young age. I wasn't able to be a child for very long. And so I was pushed into adulthood, making adult decisions at an age where I was not mentally and emotionally ready. And so as I grew into an adult, I became guarded, I became angry, I became cold-hearted at times. And a lot of my actions reflected it. A lot of the relationships that I carried on reflected it, whether it was friendships, whether it was, relationships between a man and a woman, it's reflected in that. And so I felt that my life wasn't worthy of much. And so I struggled with the thoughts of suicide many times, because I felt like I was born into this world right from the start facing so many adversities that it was like, what more? Like, I didn't have any hope for the future. It wasn't until I really started to experience God, started to really understand our relationship with God was so important, that I started to truly allow healing to take place. I started to truly understand what love looked like, and it wasn't what I had experienced most of my life. And so in closing, I want to encourage those who might have been sexually abused, who have been born to parents or into a family that has allowed the spirit of rejection to seep into you. Address that. Address that with God, because God wants you to heal. God wants you to love. God wants you to experience life in the way that He has created us to experience it. And it starts with you allowing yourself to go through that healing process. And it might hurt. It will hurt, not might, but it's worth it, because once you address those issues from your past that are spilling out into your present and your future, you're able to heal from all the pain and hurt. You're able to replace rejection with self-acceptance. You're able to replace self-hatred with self-love. So I close to say, try Jesus, because he's awesome, and just work on your healing day by day. It's a process, and it's well worth it when you see when you see your life through the eyes of God. Love you guys. Rock your Rebel. Signing out. Rebel Inspired. Love you.